मृतापि तरुणातपं करुणया हरन्ती नृणाम् अभङ्गुरतनुत्वषां बलयिता शतैर्विद्युतां कलिन्दगिरिनन्दिनी तटसुरद्रुमालम्बिनी मदीयमतिचुम्बिनी भवतु कापि कादम्बिनी. We have to look at the fourth matam. We finished till the third matam. We have to start with the chaturtham parakiyam matam. Upanyasyati. Paretu. Now this matam, they do not accept Vyanjana vritti of any sort. So this is the Anumiti pramanam. They use Anumana to solve everything. So Vyanjana vyaparasya anirvachaniya khyate cha anabhyupagame api pragukta dosha mahimna swatmani dushyantadi tadatmya avagahi shakuntaladi vishayaka ratyadimat abheda बोधः मानसः कार्यार्थ भावना जन्म विलक्षण विषयता शाली रसः. What is according to them the rasam is व्यंजना व्यापारस्य अनिर्वचनीयता ख्यातेः च अनभ्युपगमात्. व्यंजना व्यापार is दुष्यन्तनिष्ठ रति or Dushyantaniष्ಠ Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati Grahakam. How do we understand that Rati? We understand it only through Vyanjana Vyapara. Dushyanta does not proclaim that, oh, I am attracted towards her, I have Rati towards Shakuntala iti tatra. He doesn't declare as such. No, Udghoshayati saha. Parantu Vyanjana Vyaparena, through suggestion, we understand this kind of a Rati. But that Vyanjana Vyapara is not acceptable. Anabhyupagame. This Anirvachana Khyate Hecha Anabhyupagame. What is Anirvachana Khyati? Anirvachana Khyati in Garche Sakshibhasyam. Sadasad Vilakshanam. Shakundaladi Vishayaka Ratyadihi Eva Rasaha. This is Abhinav Gupta's matam. That Anirvachaniya Khyati is also not accepted. Khyati nale Jnanam. Anirvachaniya Jnanam. The Jnanam, that is the knowledge of Rasa, is something that cannot be it cannot be accepted as either sat or asat. It is neither present nor absent. So it is anirvachaniyam, something that is difficult to explain. And it is sakshi bhasyam, that which is only known through the atmaswarupa. அப்படி அத வந்து அல்டிமேட்டா பிரம்மானந்த சோதரஹ இதி அபினவகுப்தாச்சாரியைஹி உக்தம். So that anirvachana khyati is also not accepted. Tathapi anabhyupagame api pragukta dosha mahimna. In the tritiya matam we talked about the bhavana vishesha, which is a dosha, that is brahmatmaka vishesha, right? Brahmaha. So pragukta brahmarupa dosha mahimna, by the force of that brahma that we spoke about earlier, swatmani dushyantadi tadatmya avagahi bodha. There is an understanding that you are completely superimposing dushyantatvam on you. So dushyantadi tadatmya avagahi bodha. There is an understanding of dushyantatvam on you. Avagahina adu purinjikradhu artham bodha. So shakuntaladi vishayaka ratyadimat abheda bodha. So there is a non-difference in the knowledge that we understand. I am Dushyanta who has Rati towards Shakuntala. So it is actually Dushyantatvam which possesses the Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati. So Shakuntaladi Vishayaka Ratyadimat Abheda Bodha. Abheda Bodha. Shakuntaladi Vishayaka Ratyadimat Abheda Prakarakaha. Dushyantoham Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratiman Ityākārakaha Manasa Vyāpāraha. So this is a manasa vyapara which occurs because of the presence of Shakuntala and Dushyanta on the stage. You immediately superimpose and think of yourself as Dushyanta. So which means you have taken upon that Dushyantatvam on you. So there is a manasa vyapara that happens here through this dosha or brahmatmakam. Kavyartha bhavana janma vilakshana vishayata shali rasaha. So how does this occur? How does this manasa vyapara occur? This bodha or this jnanam occurs because of kavya tattvartha jnanena. Kavyartham kavyam vartate. Tatra kavyasya arthaha janimaha. Tena arthena ya bhavana feelings. from that feelings, there arises rasa. Rasa utpattihi jayate manasi. Or there is an anumiti of the rasam. Vilakshana vishayatashali. That is vilakshanamana vishayatai kondirupadu. So what is it has something very different from what we have spoken of in the earlier matam. So he says vilakshana vishayatashali ityukte lokottaraha ityadinishta vishayata nirupakaha bodhaha aswadaha eva rasaha. So the enjoyment that we are viewing something which is beyond the world. We understand, we get a feeling from this kavyam. Having understood the meaning of this kavyam, we get a feeling in our mind. And in that mind, I am feeling that I am Dushyanta who has Shakuntala Vishayaka Iti Brahmaha. Tatra Jayate. Okay, so this is very similar to Tritiya Matam, but Tritiya Matam still accepts a Vyanjana Vyapara along with the both, but this does not accept. Okay, Swapnadihi tu Tadrisha Bodhaha na Kavyartha Chintana Janma iti na Rasaha. Now, Swapnakale api evameva Manasika Vyaparaha Vartate eva. So, Swapnakalikaha Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratimat Dushyanta Abeda Prakaram tu Vartate eva. Dushyanta Abeda Prakaraka Bodha Jnanam Vartate. So, I can say even in Swapnam that I have transformed myself into Dushyanta and I have a love towards Shakuntala. Iti Manasa Pratyaksham tu Swapne api Vartate iti chet Tatra Kavya Bhavana Janyaha Nasti. Are you viewing the kavyam in the mind? No, you are in swapnam. In the dream, you are not seeing the kavyam. So, tarihi swapnakalika dushyantatvam tu tatra rasatvam rasam na utpadayati yataha tatra kavyam na vidyate. The idea in your mind is samskarajanyam. Avladhan. You might have seen the play in reality. You might have read the book. All of these things are there in your mind, but then that is in the form of a smriti, samskara, etc. in swapnam. And during swapnam, when you have tadrisha bodha, when that kind of a knowledge arises, that knowledge comes only from the samskara or smriti that is there in your mind and not from immediately viewing a kavyam or understanding a kavyam. So, kavyartha chintana janma na vartate, nasti. It is not janma, it does not have its janma. It is not produced by thinking constantly about the meaning of the kavyam. Iti na rasaha. Hence, swapnakalikaha anubhavaha tu rasaha iti vaktum na shakyate. Tena na tatra tadrisha akhlada apattihi. So why don't I feel a great akhlada vishesha when in my swapnam, when I think of myself as Dushyanta and Shakuntala, whatever. Tatha rasa anubhutihi nasti in swapnam. Swapnathila santoshamna or it is chalo.
Ji, in swapna, you don't get a clear picture of what is going on. Why does he bring in the rasa concept there? You don't even know. It's just a vague imagery, right?
சில பேருக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப கிளியர் சொப்பனங்கள் வரும், ரொம்ப கிளியரா வரும். ஆனாலும் that is only from the samskara that is there. It is not kavya janma. So there is no rasa there. Say, I do feel bhayam. I feel shoka when I get up.
Bhayam you get, yeah.
அதே மாதிரி shringaramum irukkalame.
Okay. Sometimes you wake up or palpitate, you wake up. Bhayam, okay. Okay, that I.
So if bhayam is possible, then any sort of a sentiment is definitely possible to experience it as a true experience when you come out of swapna. After you come out, you realize, I was dreaming all this while. But even that bhavana that we have during that swapnam, it can, why can't we term it as rasa? Why should we only think of it as swapnam and not rasam? That is because kavyartha chintana janma nasti. Kintu samskare yaya smritihi vartate taya smritya eva janyate iti. Adunala. Tena na tatra tadrisha akhlada apattihi. Idella vande, this is the fourth matam. அதனால அந்த மதத்தினுடைய ஒரு விவகாரம்னு எடுத்துட்டு. So it is, even though swapna is also a manasa vyapara, still it cannot give rise to such a great ahladam like rasa, like seeing things vividly, directly, pratyakshatvena yadi pashyamaha tatra tadrig ahladaha vartate. परंतु स्वप्ने यदा पश्यामः तर्हि तथा आह्लादः नास्ति यद्यपि मानस व्यापारः. Why? Because it is not काव्यार्थ जन्म. एवमपि स्वस्मिन् अविद्यमानस्य रत्यादेः अनुभवः कथं नाम स्यात्. सो सहृदये वास्तविकरतेः अभावात् अनुभवे च विषयसत्त्वस्य कारणतया अपेक्षणात् प्रकृतेरत्यादिबोधस्य असंभवः. So what he says is, see, सहृदय स्वस्मिन् अविद्यमानस्य रत्यादेः, he does not feel anything towards Shakuntala because he is not Dushyanta in reality. So when the Sahridaya, when the viewer, audience looks at Shakuntala, he cannot feel Rati towards her because she is Parastri, number one. And he has not had that kind of an interaction with Shakuntala which Dushyanta has had with Shakuntala. Then, Swasmin Avidyamanasya Ratyadehe, when that sort of a Rati is not present within him, how can he experience that Rati? Katham nama syat? Abdin kelvi. Okay, this is a question that someone is asking the Chaturtha Matakara. He is replying now. Maivam. Nahi ayam laukika sakshatkaraha ratyadehe yena avasyam vishaya sadbhavaha apekshaniyaha syat apitu brahmaha. See, this is not a direct perception of things that are there. Even though there is Dushyanta and Shakuntala acting out on stage, they are not real Dushyanta, they are not real Shakuntala. We know that very well. When we are viewing the drama, we know really well that this is not Rama, this is not Sita, this is not Dushyanta, this is not Shakuntala. But still, there is a Brahma that this person is acting out like Dushyanta. So we don't need the actual Vishaya Sadbhava here. Vishaya Sadbhavamna, the presence of the Vishaya is not necessary at all. In the Rajju Sarpanyaya, when you see a rope in a dark room, do you have the presence of Sarpa there? There is no presence of snake there. You don't need the presence of that Vishaya for me to understand that Vishaya. So, Rati irundadane Ratiya purinchukka mudiyum abdinna, Rati illamaleye Ratiya purinchikalam varum abdingra. Adanga. It is only a Brahman. That's all. So, nahi ayam laukika sakshatkaraha ratyadehe. So, laukika pratyakshehi karanataya vishayasya vastutaha sattvam apekshyate. We need a presence of an object in laukika pratyaksham. But Rati or Rasa is not laukika pratyaksham. Nahi ratyadehe laukika sakshatkaraha. I do not perceive Rati like how I see an object like computer or a phone. It is not like that. Brahmetu, so yena avashyam, because of which there needs to be a Vishaya. This is not a laukika sakshatkara because of which I need a Vishaya. I don't need a Vishaya because this is not laukika sakshatkara. Priyada? Apitu brahmaha eva. So this Rati experience is only an illusory experience. So Brahmetu Rajjau Asataha Sarpasya Bhagnam iti Sahridaya Samaveta Ratyadi Pratitehe Doshajanyatvat Brahmatvena Navastavika Vishaya Satbhava Apekshang Vyakhyanatla. So just as how when the moment you see the Rajju, the concept of Sarpa is completely destroyed. In the same way, when you realize, oh, it is only me, I am not Dushyanta, then that feeling of Rati is gone now. So it is only a Brahmatmaka Vishayam. Avladha. Na vande en mind la or karpanaya pottu pannikrene abingra. Aswadanasya rasa vishayakatva vyavaharastu ratyadi vishayakatva alambanaha ityapi vadanti. Aswadanasya rasa vishayakatva vyavaharaha. Brahmarupa rasam rase vishaye bhutaha ratyadihi tasya ratyadehe aswadaha. So that is rasa aswada vyavaharaha. So what is this rasa vishayakatva vyavaharaha? Ratyadi vishayakatva alambanaha. Ityapi vadanti. So we can also say this as rasasya aswadaha bhavati iti chet. Tatra rasa is present in rati. We are actually only experiencing rati, and that rati is brahmam. Abdingro. This is the point. Okay. So the point of this is, Nanu etan mate, Vyakhyanathlinda I'm just reading, Nanu etan mate brahmatmakasya ratyadignyanasya eva rasatvat. If only brahmatmaka ratigyanam, we have the jnanam of rati, and that ratigyanam is illusory, because I am not Dushyanta, I unnecessarily superimpose myself with the Dushyantatvam and feel rati. So that rati is also like sarpatvam. So it is a brahmam, it is an illusion. And that is only called rasa. Tadvishayaka jnanantara anutpattehe aswadakaha rasavishayakaha iti vyavaharaha nopatpadyate. So how can we say rasavishayaka aswadaha bhavati? How can I say that I enjoy rasam when rati is the illusion, and that illusory rati gives rise to rasa? Then how can I experience something like that? It is the same thing only. Just as how in Brahmam we experience bhayam when we think that it is sarpa, when we realize that it is rajju, the bhayam is gone. In the same way, this also happens. So aswadanasya, the process of aswadana or experiencing is rasa vishayakatva vyavaharaha. It has rasa in it as a vishaya. Ratyadi vishayakatva alambana. So that rasa is based on rati as its support. Alambanaha, it takes rati as its support. In this fourth category. So turiyamate, now the bodha happens in three types. Okay. What is the prakriya solanamulyu? We have to give you the methodology with which we understand this process. So etaischa Swatmani Dushyantatva Dharmita Avachedaka Shakuntaladi Vishayaka Rati Vaishishtya Avagahi. That is number one. Number two, Swatmatva Vishishte Shakuntaladi Vishayaka Rati Vishishta Dushyanta Tadatmya Avagahi. Two. Number three is Swatmatva Vishishte Dushyantatva Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratyoho Vaishishtya Avagahi Va Iti Trividhaha bodhaha api rasapadarthataya abhyupeyaha. So what is rasam? We have to understand it in three ways. So adukku, so the first method to understand, Dushyantatva prakarena samajikasya atmani ratyadehe jnanam utpadyate. Now this is how do we understand rati in our mind? Through this fourth matam. So Dushyantatva is the prakaram in Atma. So we understand Dushyanta. So in Dushyantatvam there is rati. And then the Atma understands this. So bodhasya akara, the form of understanding jnanam is Dushyantaha aham Shakuntala vishayaka ratiman. Abdingro. Shakuntala vishayaka ratiman. So Shakuntala. So Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratiman. I am Dushyanta who has Rati in the form of towards Shakuntala here. This is the jnanam that we have. What is the uddeshya here? Dushyanta abhinna aham padartaha. I ingardu inge uddeshya. So the difference between the three bodhas, the three types of rasabodha, is only in the manner in which we look at uddeshya and vidheya. Who is the uddeshya? Aham. I understand rati. So this rati is directed towards me. The rasam is directed towards the sakridaya, who is the viewer. What is the uddeshya here? Dushyanta tadatmya aham padarthaha. So Dushyantoham, Dushyanta abhinna aham becomes the uddeshya. What is the adjectival feature that you are giving to aham here? Shakuntala vishayaka ratimatvam is being given to the Atma. So the Atma experiences rati, as present in Dushyanta, and myself and Dushyanta are non-different here. This is the first type of jnana. So Dushyantatva prakarena. So prakaram nalu uddeshyam nalu undada. Vidheya and idu visheshanama adu undu. So uddeshya videya bhava. Uddeshyangardu aham padarthaha, I am non-different from Dushyanta. So Dushyantatva prakaraha vartate. Shakuntala vishayaka ratimatvam vidheyam. Okay, this is the first bodha. Adha inge vandu text la eppadi solrar, swatmani atmani dushyantatva dharmita avachedakam. Dharmitangarcheye dushyantatvam eva prakarataya tatra vartate. Dharmaha dharmitangarche dharmaha ityarthaha. Avladha dharmaha asya asti iti dharmi, dharminaha bhavaha dharmita. Dharmiinuடைய பாவம் திருப்பியும் தர்மா தான் வரும். பணத்தை கொண்டவன் பணக்காரன், பணக்காரனுடைய பாவம் பணம் தானே. அதுதான் தர்மிதான்னு சொன்னதுனால பெருசா நம்ம வந்து கன்ஃபியூஸ் ஆகிக்க வேண்டாம். டோன்ட் கெட் கன்ஃபியூஸ்ட் அபவுட் இட். டேக் இட் அஸ் தர்மா. துஷ்யந்தத்வ தர்மேண அவச்சித்யதே ஸ்வாத்மா. So we take dushyantatvam as a dharma in ourselves. And then Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati Vaishishtya Avagahi. Vaishishthyam nale Vidheyamsha is Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratimatvam. Okay, that is the first type. Now the second one. Let's go to the second type of bodha. Samajikasya Atmani Rati Vishishta Dushyanta Tadatmya Jnanam Vartate. Ipa munnadi ennana Atma Vartate, ஆத்மனி ரதிஹி அஸ்தி. இப்ப முன்னாடி என்ன பார்த்தோம் பாருங்க, ஆத்மனி ரதிஹி வர்த்ததே, ரதிஸ்து துஷ்யந்தே ஏவ வர்த்ததே, அதோட ஓவர். அண்ட் துஷ்யந்தே சகுந்தலா விஷயக்க இப்படிதான் நம்ம கொண்டு வரோம் அதை. ஆனா ஒரு ஸ்டெப் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா இன் த செகண்ட் டைப் ஆஃப் போதா. த ஸ்டெப் இஸ் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஹியர், வேர் யூ ஆர் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சேயிங் உத்தேஷ்ய இஸ் ஒன்லி அகம் பதார்த்தா. ஐ அம் தி உத்தேஷ்யா ஹியர். ஸ்வாத்மனி ரதி விசிஷ்ட துஷ்யந்த தாதாத்மியம் இங்க வந்துடுறது. முதல்ல வந்து நான் துஷ்யந்தன், அதுக்கப்புறம் துஷ்யந்தன் இடத்துல ரதி இருக்கு, இந்த ரதி என்னிடத்துல இருக்கு அப்படின்னு சொல்றதுக்கு பதிலா துஷ்யந்தா ஹேஸ் ரதி and I am talking of myself as non-different from Dushyanta. அப்படி போட்டு விடுறோம். So the Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati is present in Dushyanta. Dushyanta Tadatmyam Mayi Vartate. இப்படி ஒரு you take an extra step in this jnana. That's all. So Rasabodaha Kidrisha Bhavati Rati Vishishta Dushyanta Tadatmyasya Jnanam Atmani Vartate. அதனால உத்தேஷ்யா அகம் பதார்த்தா. இந்த போத ஆகாரமும் டிஃபரெண்டா இருக்கு பாருங்க. அகம் சகுந்தலா விஷயக ரதி விசிஷ்டா துஷ்யந்தா அப்படின்னு வந்துடுறது. சோ தட் சகுந்தலா விஷயக ரதி இஸ் பிரசன்ட் இன் துஷ்யந்தா. ஐ அண்ட் துஷ்யந்தா ஆர் த சேம் அப்படிங்கிறோம். முன்னாடி என்ன பார்த்தோம்? துஷ்யந்தா அகமேவ சகுந்தலா விஷயக ரதிமான் அப்படி I have already become Dushyanta here, and Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati is present in me அப்படிங்கிறோம்.
அந்த they link the Rati அங்க இதுல வந்து துஷ்யந்தாவையே பர்சனே லிங்க் பண்றான்.
பர்சனல் லிங்க் பண்றா. ரதி துஷ்யந்தன் இடத்துல இருக்குங்கறா செகண்ட்ல. சரியா? புத்திக்கு எக்ஸசைஸ் இதெல்லாம். So இப்போ let's look at just the sentence in the text. What does he say? Swatmatva vishishte. Vaishishtyam here, there is only aham padartha here. That's all. It is not dushyantatva vishishtam illa. Swatmatva vishishtam. நான் நானாகவே இருக்கிறேன். என்னிடத்துல I am superimposing Dushyanta. Who has Rati? அவ்வளவுதான். So here at least this is a little bit clear that I don't love Shakuntala அப்படின்னு இல்லை இங்க. I love Shakuntalaங்கிற பாயிண்ட் கிடையாது. Dushyanta only loves Shakuntala, but I superimpose myself and think of myself as Dushyanta அப்படிங்கிறா. So it is a little bit better than the earlier position. So Shakuntaladi Vishayaka Rati Vishishta Dushyanta Tadatmya Avagahi Bodha. A jnanam which understands superimposition with the Dushyanta who has Rati. Avladha. Now we move on to the third Bodha. Both kinds are there. We understand that Dushyantatvam Aham Padartha is there. Aham Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratiman Dushyantascha Abringro. So I am Dushyanta and I am also a person who has Rati towards Shakuntala. Both are there. So Uddeshya is Aham Padartha. The Sambandha Avagahi happens here. The Sambandham of Dushyantatvam and Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratimatvam, both Samuchaya Jnanam happens here. Both are present in me. This is the third kind of Rasabodha. Okay. So it is the Sambandha Avagahi Jnanam. Right? So what does he say in the text here? So Swatmatva Vishishte. Again, the second also, I think of myself as separate from Dushyanta in a way. First, I am a separate entity. So Swatmatva Vishishte. Dushyantatvam also Avagahi. Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratyoho Vaishishtya Avagahi. Dushyantatvam, Shakuntala Vishayaka Rati, both of these have a Sambandha. I am only grasping that particular Sambandha between those two in my mind. So that is the Jnanam that I have. This Jnanam is understood or taken as Rasaha. So Ayam Bodhaha, Trividaha api Bodhaha, Rasa Padarthataya Abhyupeyaha. We have to take this three type of Bodha as Rasa in our mind. Okay. So Tatra Ratehe Visheshani Bhutayaha Shabdat Apratitatvat Vyanjanayaha cha Tat Pratyayikayaha Anabhyupagamat cha Ishtadi Lingam Lingakam Adau Visheshana Jnanartham Anumanam Abhyupeyam. Now he comes to in all three types of Bodha, the Ratehe Visheshani Bhutayaha Shabdat Apratitehe. So what is the Visheshanam here? Rati is the Visheshana here. In all three types, somehow or the other, Aham becomes our Visheshya. And Rati is the Visheshana here. Either through Dushyanta or separately the Rati comes, or Dushyanta and Rati come in. Idhane 1, 2, 3 patham. One is Dushyanta, the Rati comes in as a Visheshana, or in the second case, it was through Dushyanta, Rati becomes the Visheshana, or in the third case, both through Dushyanta and Dushyanta himself, both of them become the Visheshana. In all three cases, what happens is Ratehe eva Visheshani Bhutayaha Ratehe. Now, how do we understand this Rati? Shabdat Apratitatvat. We don't understand it through Shabda. Because nobody says, I love Shakuntala, Abdina Odaneye, Namakinga love Pungi Varda and Ilye. Adanala Shabdat Apratitehe. It is not known through Shabda Pramanam. How do we understand this rasa? It is not through Shabda Pramanam. Not because Apta Vakyam Shabdaha. So there is an Apta who says, listen to me. I will tell you. Dushyanta has Rati towards Shakuntala. And you also understand that rasa. Hence, you feel this rasa. Appadinu ortha sonnathinala namakku vandu inge pratiti illa. So it is not through Shabda Pramanam that we have rasa pratiti. Liya? You understand? See, Pratyaksha, Anumana, Shabda, Upamana, Ittana, among all of these Pramanas, every other person has said it's a Pratyaksha Pramanam. And the Sakshibhasyatvam Vartate Tatra. I experience Rati just as how I know I exist in the same manner. I cannot explain how my stomach pain is to you. So it has to be a Pratyaksha Anubhava. Yeah, that's how the other people have explained rasa till now. Here what he says is, it is only Anumana Pramanam. You deduce, you come to a conclusion through Anumanam, through 5 steps that this is rasa that I am experiencing. Abdi Varnuma. Why can't I get it through Shabda? Because Kavyam is being portrayed on stage through Shabdam. Kavi is also talking about it through Shabdam. No. See, Shabda Pramana's definition, by definition, it is Aptavakyam Shabdaha. An Apta, a person, trustworthy person should come and tell you that this person is feeling Rati. So you are also feeling Rati. So whatever Bhavana you are feeling is Rati. ஓ இதுதான் லவ்வா அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி அந்த மாதிரி இல்லைங்கிற. இட்ஸ் நாட் லைக் திஸ். There will be some Sakhi who comes and says, you have all of these quality, your heart is beating, you want to see him continuously, that is why this is called. Adala illenga. So that sort of a Shabda Pramana is not happening here. So Visheshani Bhutayaha Ratehe Shabdat Apratitatvat. It is unknown through Shabda Pramana. Vyanjanayaha tat pratyayikayaha anabhyupagamat cha. We do not accept Vyanjana Vritti also. Tat pratyayika அப்படின்னா தத் தர்ஷயிதா ஆர் தத் போதிகா. அத நமக்கு தெரிவிக்க கூடியதாக இருக்கக்கூடிய வியஞ்சனாவையும் ஒத்துக்கல்ல அப்படிங்கிற. So we do not accept anabhyupagamat because of the fact that we do not accept Vyanjana Vyapara, which indicates Rati or which gives me the bodham jnanam of Rati. I don't accept that Vyanjana also. So what is left? Cheshtadi lingakam adau Cheshtadi lingakam adau Visheshana jnanartham anumanam abhyupeyam. लिंगकादौ लिंगम इत्यत्र यत्र तादृशम इत्याकारक अनुमानं ज्ञानम. So अयं दुष्यन्तः शकुन्तला विषयकरतिमान् तद्विषयक कटाक्ष भुजक्षेपादि चेष्टावत्वात् इति हेतुवाक्यम. So अयं दुष्यन्तः, this is दुष्यन्ता पक्षम. पक्षत्तुल what are we trying to prove? Shakuntala Vishayaka Ratiman, that is your sadhyam. What is the hetu that we give for that? Tadvishayaka Kataksha Bhujakshepadi Cheshtavatvam. He has all of these Kataksha, eye glances, side glances. He is using his arm, Kaya Tukardu, Avakitta Pokardu, Talayata, in the Madri Abhinayadi Vishayaha Tatra Vartante iti Karanat, Cheshtadi Lingakam. First, this has all of the cheshtas, etc., as a linga, as an evidence. Using that, I understand the Visheshana, which is Rati. So, Visheshana Jnanartham, because in order to understand the Visheshana, which is Rati, I need cheshta, etc., as a linga, as a hetu. Using that, Anumanam Abhyupeyam, you have to accept Anumana. Seriya? This is with this, the fourth matam is over. The next is the fifth matam.